The way that languages develop is interesting. Words and expressions are continuously coming in and going out of fashion. And these days, there are new words every day as we try to keep up with technological advances. Of course, most of these new words come from the USA. In fact, without the influence of the Americans, British English would be a very poor language. We wouldn't have words such as commuter, burger, chewing gum, motel, BLT, and teenager. And we wouldn't be able to use expressions such as to face the music. American English itself is a rich language, with influences from all over the world. In the past, the settlers in the New World had to find new words to describe their experiences in America. Many of these words came from non-English speakers, such as the Spanish, who gave us words like patio and macho, the Dutch, who gave us boss, and the Indians, who gave us moccasin and canoe. These days, there are new words coming from America all the time. Why is this? There are various reasons. For a start, the US is the dominant world power in cultural, financial, and economical terms. It exports its way of life, and we consume it. The US also has a great publishing industry, with books that are read all over the world. And America is home to Hollywood, the biggest producer and exporter of English-language films and television programs in the world. Finally, the US is a dynamic culture at the forefront of medical and technological advances, which constantly require new words and ways of describing things. So what are the principal differences between British and American English? In general, the two versions of English are very similar. Of course, there are some words that only exist either in America or Britain. For example, the British say biscuit and the Americans say cookie. And there are even some words that can cause real confusion. For example, the American word pants, which has a very different meaning in British English. There are also differences in the grammar and pronunciation, with many vowel sounds that are pronounced completely differently. However, most of these differences are minor and do not interfere with communication. All right, mate? Or should I say, okay, buddy?
Brad, how do you see the situation these days?
Well, there are more than 1,000 words that have different meanings or usages in British and American English. I think it's time we harmonize the two languages. Take the case of spelling. In many ways, American is more logical. For example, enrolling with one L, traveling with one L, etc.
I completely disagree. I feel if we start to try to regulate, we'll get into all sorts of problems. And which English are we going to choose? Why should it be American English? I completely disagree.
No, I really think it's time for some sort of rationalization. Look, there are just so many words with different meanings. We can't even communicate effectively. Just the other day I was talking to a friend and it was like talking to a foreigner. We just didn't understand one another. I was talking about pants and he thought I was referring to underwear. Also, we can't watch foreign films. If a film claims to be in English, I want to be able to understand it. I tried watching Trainspotting and it might as well have been in Mongolian. Some American movies need to be subtitled when they're shown.
Well, that's the same for us. You know, we don't understand everything you're saying, but that's no reason to impose your form of English on the rest of us, is it?
Yeah, but getting back to that point about which language, I'd say it should be American. After all, more people in the world speak American English than speak British English, if you include speakers of English as a second language. All the music comes from America. Canadian English bears a strong resemblance to United States English, but they are not identical.
No, I really must disagree with you there. I'm convinced that British English, after all, we invented the language, so I think it should be British English, if anything.
As the world's #1 superpower, I think we should stick to American English. I think it's the obvious choice.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. That was very interesting. I think...
When perverted American men want to observe American women, they have a number of options. They can go to a park and watch them jog, they can go to a strip club, or they go to Hooters. So, what can you do at a Hooters bar? And why are they so popular? Beer and wings. Hooters bars have everything the average American man could want. There's a big screen TV with a sports channel on all the time. There's fast food, including pizza, wings, and tacos, and there's lots of beer and beautiful women. Of course, many men argue that they go to these bars for the sport, the food, and the beer, but the fact is the women in Hooters are the big attraction. Jokes and smiles. All Hooters girls wear a special uniform. This consists of tight cotton tops, bright orange hot pants, shiny tights, and white tennis shoes. Just what your average American woman would choose to wear if she went out. The waitresses are taught to take the customer's order in a special way. They bend over and remain in this position long enough for the hungry client to get a good look at her cleavage, and order the food, of course. And if her cleavage isn't ample enough, the restaurant kindly supplies her with a padded bra. On top of this, the waitresses are taught to smile and laugh a lot, especially when the customer tells a joke or makes a stupid comment. In short, Hooters has everything a red-blooded American male could dream of: beer, wings, football, and half-naked women who listen to him and laugh at his jokes. So how did it all start? Chickens and other birds. Hooters started back in 1983 in Clearwater, Florida. 6 clever businessmen from the Midwest came up with this brilliant idea: a restaurant that serves chicken wings and has girls in orange shorts, a perfectly natural combination that all guys love. With no experience in the food industry, they started out small and opened just one restaurant. They got a little bit of criticism at first, mostly because of the name, which is a slang term for a woman's breasts. Nice Hooters! But they wriggled out of this by explaining that Hooter is also a slang name for an owl. And just to make their point even clearer, they adopted this bird as part of the restaurant's logo. Within a few years, things were going so well that they started to open lots more restaurants, and before long, they were enjoying international success. Sex appeal and Bud Light. But the criticism hasn't stopped. These days, Hooters often gets attacked for exploiting women. Some critics claim that the restaurant's dress code is offensive because it demeans women by obliging them to wear revealing clothes. Hooters says that these claims are as ridiculous as saying the NFL exploits men who are big and fast. We are just providing girls with an opportunity to use their sex appeal to make some money, just like supermodels such as Cindy Crawford and Naomi Campbell, said a spokesman for the bar. It takes a lot of talent to deliver Bud Light to a table full of middle-aged sports fans. I can tell you, added Charlene Davies, a Hooters waitress. Women's rights and vice presidents. Hooters executives have even been known to moralize on women's rights. We give women the choice to choose their own careers. With us, women know they have the choice. Some choose to be judges, and others choose to be Hooters girls. And who in their right mind would want to be a judge if you had the opportunity to be a Hooters girl? They also claim that many former Hooters girls have gone on to great things within the Hooters Corporation. They give the example of Marcelle, a former Hooters girl who is currently working as Vice President of Training and Human Resources. Apparently, this job consists of measuring new trainees' assets and seeing that the new waitresses can master the Hooters smile and the bend over and show your cleavage technique. Happy birthday, Hooters! Hooters recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. In honor of the establishment's success, Hooters had a year-long celebration. Among the exciting festivities were birthday parties in every Hooters restaurant on the 20th of each month, free orange shorts for the public, and an extravaganza in Las Vegas with live music, dancing girls, and the Hooters International Swimsuit Contest. A real family treat. Watch a game. However, having said all that, Hooters isn't all that bad, and I'm a woman. I myself have visited the establishment twice and can truthfully say the following: the beer is cold, the wings aren't bad, and whatever game you are looking for, it's probably on one of their many televisions. I wouldn't go as far as to call it my neighborhood spot, and I pity those that do, but it's not a bad place to watch the Lakers game. So if you're planning a trip to the U.S. anytime soon, and you are in the mood for some wings and American hospitality, look up the Hooters closest to you. Once there, you'll be able to take in some American football, drink some beer, and eat some delicious deep-fried food. But try to remember everything in moderation. And if you find yourself on a first-name basis with one of the waitresses, you know it's time to slow it down.